Good evening from Abu Dhabi. Very pleased to welcome Mr. Olivier de Meleuc, Global President, Renault Trucks International. Thank you very much. A very big night in Abu Dhabi with Al Masaoud launching the first electric truck in the Middle East, in UAE, in the Middle East. We were talking about electric vehicles. We were hoping to have the first electric light commercial vehicle. You went all the way straight ahead with an electric truck and with a big one. So what can you tell us in this regard? Why Abu Dhabi? Why Al Masaoud? What is special about? What is your strategy for the electric trucks in the Middle East?
Well, first, thank you very much for asking. I'm very pleased to be here in Abu Dhabi. The strategy has been very clear for us. We need to learn, we need to expand, and Abu Dhabi was for us an obvious choice for different reasons. First, because there is a strong commitment from the authorities in the plan towards 2050, and we want to integrate our strategy within this plan, long-term plan in Abu Dhabi. Second, because we've got a fantastic partner here, Al Masaoud, which will be key player to support the vehicle on a day-to-day. And of course, we have these customers with whom we are building this partnership with Averda, Tawhid, and all these together was making Abu Dhabi the obvious choice for us.
In terms of technology, how can this be possible to have a very huge truck of 34 ton, 44 ton, or even tons? As the concept of having an electric truck, well, we were talking about having just an electric SUV. So you went straight away to a truck. How, in terms of technology, can this be possible?
But we have started investing very seriously in electromobility and transition over the last 15 years now. As Renault Trucks, we launched a first hybrid vehicle 15 years ago, a first electric vehicle as prototype 10 years ago. So we have still and steadily investing in a lot of technology in the meantime. And now we've got a technology which has the capacity to indeed be extremely efficient in this kind of application. So we are targeting specific segments where technology is giving the right profitability for the customer and the right efficiency also for the country. And clearly, waste collection is the perfect segment for this kind of technology. We've got relatively low mileage per day.
What is the mileage so far?
I mean, these vehicles, they will be able to do over almost 200 kilometers with...
which is okay for a city like Abu Dhabi or Dubai or a city in the Middle East.
Yeah, which is more than what is necessary. In fact, these vehicles will need to have maximum 120 kilometers per day, probably less. So the capacity of the vehicle is far enough. We know exactly the roads, so we can follow up the vehicle strictly. So with the good customers and with the right application, we know that we've got a technology which is fully delivering on the necessary productivity.
Yeah, maintenance, infrastructure for a hot climate like in the Middle East. So what are your thoughts and strategy in this regard?
But here we have all to learn. As you know, these trucks is really the very first vehicle in the Middle East and in the very first all-made vehicle with this hot climate. So we will test it in a pilot phase to make sure that the temperature will be accepted. But we have developed technology with cooling system on the battery that make us confident to make it worse. But there is no miracle. It's a lot of investment in the last years to make it work.
Yeah. Certification. What can you say in this regard? You're certified in Europe. You have a very bullish target in Europe. 20% or even 50% of trucks in Europe by 2030. What about the Middle East?
In the Middle East, it's not a question of legal requirement, but we are committed as part of the Paris Agreement, and the Paris Agreement is worldwide. So in the world, our clear commitment is indeed to reach this 20% of electric vehicle by 2025, 50% by 2030. It's our commitment towards Paris Agreement, and this commitment will be reinforced as part of the COP28 this year in UAE.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.